Hey, this is section 1.1 um, exercise starting from, I'll do some selected questions. 28, it's a page 21. Okay, so f of x is x to the third power, and they want you to evaluate f of a plus h minus f of a, everything over h. So that is a plus h to the third power minus a to the third power over h. That will be a cubed plus 3a squared h plus 3ah squared. Subtract a cubed, divide by h. So looks like a cubed get canceled. So we have 3a squared h plus 3ah squared over h, which is if I factor h out, 3a squared plus 3ah over h, and then we get h get canceled again. So our final answer is 3a squared plus 3ah. Number 29, f of x is 1 over x, and they want you to evaluate f of x minus f of a over x minus a. So f of x is simply 1 of x, f of a is f of 1 of x and 1 of a, x minus a. Now common denominator is a times x, so that is a minus x minus a, ax, but a minus x is negative of x minus a, so that is x minus a times ax, so x minus a get cancelled again. So final answer is negative 1 over ax. That is 29. I'm going to skip few over here, and then let's go to 34. 34 is a g of t is square root of 3 minus t minus square root of, is it 2 plus t? So we have to have, we have to satisfy two conditions. The first one is 3 minus t has to be equal to 0, and 2 plus t also has to be greater equal to 0. So from here, t is less than equal to 3. Another way of saying it is t is less than equal to 3, and t is greater equal to negative 2. So these both conditions have to be satisfied. So if I just work this on a number line, this is a 3, and this is a negative 2. So somewhere is 0 there. So has to be indecimable. So answer is all the t such that t t has to be what? Greater equal to negative 2, less than equal to 3. Interval notation, negative 2, 3. Okay. So that is 34. Let's move on to how about 35. This is find the domain, okay? From 34 is I didn't write it, but this is um, well, what is it? Find the domain, okay? Find the domain from 34. Now, so let's do 35. 35 is h of x is 1 over, this is, I have a hard time to, fourth root. So fourth root of x squared minus 5x. So this is the even root, and that's in the denominator. So domain has to be x squared minus 5x has to be strictly greater than 0. It cannot be 0. Then it makes the denominator 0. So that means x minus 5 has to be greater than 0. Now this means this is a second degree polynomial. So if I use curve, this is 0 and 5. And this part is, what do you mean by this part here? Negative infinity to 0 is positive. And then 0 to 5 is negative. And then this is 5 to infinity is positive. We're looking for positive from here. So the solution is Sepilda notation. X is less than 0. Oops, not equal to. Just less than 0. Or x is greater than 5. Interval notation, negative infinity 0, union 5 comma infinity. Okay, that is 35. And then 36. 36 is f of u is u plus 1 over 1 plus 1 over u plus 1. So now again, two conditions. The first condition is u plus 1 cannot be 0, meaning u cannot be negative 1. And the entire denominator here cannot be 0. In other words, 1 plus 1 over u plus 1 cannot be 0. Okay, what that means? That means u plus 1, u plus 1 plus 1, which is u plus 2 over u plus 1. Okay, this cannot be 0. That means what? U cannot be negative 2. So you have u cannot be negative 1, and u cannot be negative 2, right? So if I draw a number line, this is negative 2, this is negative 1. Any number is okay except these two. Okay, so everything here is good, everything here is good, everything here is good. So you have, looks like you have three intervals: negative infinite, negative 2, negative 2, negative 1, negative 1, and you have to connect with u. Okay, so that is the answer for 36. Let's look at 37. So 37, oops, where is that? 37, go here. So 37 is f of p is square root of 2 minus square root of p. So again, we have two conditions. P has to be greater than or equal to 0 because of this p right here. And the entire radicand, I mean these, 2 minus square root of p has to be greater than or equal to 0. So what is meaning of this one? This is 2 is greater than or equal to square root of p, or square root of p is less than or equal to 2, same thing. That means p has to be less than or equal to 4. And then also from this condition, p has to be greater than or equal to 0, p has to be less than or equal to 4. So we have this is 0, this is 4, p has to be here. Okay. So interval notation is simply 0, 4. That's the domain. Okay. So that is 37. Let's do a few more. Let's go to 45. Now sketch the graph. So f of x is x plus absolute value x. Now this is x plus negative x, which is 0 if what? X is negative. Okay. Well, let me do it this way so that here, if x is less than or equal to 0, that means f of x is x plus negative x, which is 0. If x is greater than equal to 0, f of x equal to x plus x, which is 2x. So the graph-wise, okay, so 2x, when x is less than or equal to 0, it is 0, so it is 0. And then when x is positive, it is 2x. 2x. Okay. So this is, y equals 0. This is y equal to x. That's the graph, okay? And that's 45. And then let's go to 40. Well, you do 46. You do 46 and then 47. I'll do 40. I'll do, a difficult one. How about, looks like 48 is worth doing it. Okay. 48. 48 is h of t is absolute value of t plus t plus 1. Now we have some situation here. The critical number is from here x equals 0. And critical number here is x equals negative 1. So we have to divide into 3 intervals. This interval, that interval, that interval. This is x is less than or equal to negative 1. This is x is negative 1 and 0. This is x greater than or equal to 0. So now let's do 3 separate. First, x is less than or equal to negative 1. Then, what did I say h? Well, it's t, okay? So it's t. Well, tx, who cares? T. Then h of t is negative t, and then this becomes negative, so negative t plus 1, which is negative 2t minus 1. When t is between negative 1 and 0, h of t is negative t. Now, this guy is positive, so simply t plus 1. So it is just 1. When the last interval, when t is positive, then h of t is simply t plus 1, which is 2t plus 1. So we have a 3, this is piecewise, okay? So in other words, this is equal to, if you write, this is negative 2t minus 1 when t is less than or equal to negative 1. It is equal to 1 when what? T is between negative 1 and 0. Oops. And then this is 2t plus 1 when t is greater than or equal to 0. So to graph, let's see here. So we have, negative 1 and 0. Basically, if I call this, that's okay. This is, say, negative 1. Okay. So what is, oops, where is the negative 2t minus 1? Say this is negative 1. It's negative 1, negative 1. So negative 2t means it goes to, when this is x equal negative 1. So this is 2t minus 1, but this only valid from here on. Okay, this is negative 2t minus 1. And between negative 1 and 0, it is 1. So this is 1. And then when t is positive, it is 2t plus 1. So we have kind of symmetry, okay? So 2t plus 1, so it is like, but it's only for positive, right? Okay, the slope has to be the same. So let's make it a little bit nicer, okay? So like a little bit sharper, like this. So this is 2t plus 1, okay? And this is 1, I say this point, 0, 1, okay? All right, this is like negative 1, okay? This is negative 1. So that's the graph. Very good question, 48. And then let's try, well, 49, you can do it. What is the meaning of 49 here? So 49 is f of x is absolute value of x if absolute value of x is less than or equal to 1. But what is the meaning of this? Another way of saying that is, this is between what? Between x is negative 1 and positive 1. That is the meaning of this. Same thing. Okay. And then it is 1 if absolute value x is greater than 1. Again, what is the meaning of this? This is x is less than negative 1 or x is greater than 1. Okay, that is the meaning. So we have this graph then. Okay, between negative 1 and 1, it is absolute value. We know what absolute value look like. Is that right? It go forever like this. But this is only valid between -1 and +1. So it is this and this. Okay. And then when x is less than -1, greater than 1, it is just 1. It is 1. 1 means what? Just horizontal line. That's the graph. Okay. So, this graph is y equal x. This graph is y equal -x. And this point is, 0, 1. That's what it is. That was 49. Let's do 50. The 50 is they want you to graph this, sketch the graph of g of x is absolute value and another absolute value -1. Okay. So now let's do this one first. What is, if I call y equal absolute value x -1, what this look like? The graph of this one is simply this is absolute value. Now this one is you're going to move this absolute value 1 unit down. Okay, so it's going to be this 1 unit down like this. But now you have, so this is positive, this is positive, this portion is negative. But because we put absolute value to it, it's like equal to absolute value of y. But this is y, but the negative portion, because you put absolute value, negative becomes positive. So this going up, metric like this. So our entire graph now becomes this, 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 and this. Okay. And this is, um, 1, 0, -1, 0. This is 0, 1. Okay. So that is the graph of it. Now, well, and then also even odd function. Okay. Let's look at 73 through 78. Now 70 through to 78, 73. Now, where the function, now f of -x is negative f of x, we call odd function. F of -x equal f of x, we call even function. Okay. So, if f of x, so let f of x equal, say, sine of x. Its sine is odd function, why? This is odd function. Why? Because f of -x is sine of -x. And we know sine of -x is negative sine of x, which is negative x. How about cosine x? This is even function. Why? Why? Because f of -x is cosine of -x. We know cosine of -x is cosine of x, which is f of x. Okay? So now, so that is kind of basic, even odd function. So if you look at 73, f of x is, what is it? X over x squared plus 1. That means, what is f of x? Negative x, which is negative x squared plus 1, which is negative x over x squared plus 1, which is negative f of x. Meaning what? Odd function. Okay. How about 70? You can do the rest. Let's try something interesting. How about 74 is even function. I don't even want to do that. How about 75? F of x is x over x plus 1. Then what is f of negative x? This is negative x plus 1. Okay. This is, if I call negative x negative of x minus 1, because I put parenthesis. So negative, negative cancel out. So x over x minus 1. This is not f of x. This is not negative f of x. Okay. It's not even, not odd. So this is neither. Okay. How about 77? 77 is even function. Okay. And then 78. 78, it says f of x is 1 plus 3 x cubed minus x5. F of negative x is 1 plus 3 negative x cubed minus negative x5. So this is 1 plus negative x cubed minus negative x5, which is 1 minus x cubed minus plus x5. Okay. Although these two signs are switched, one stay put. So this means neither. Okay. Right. So that should take care of it.